don't know if you heard, one of my buddies, one of my buddies from the union sent me a message, giving me the heads up that there's a convention, the state convention is happening nearby. It's only about an hour away. And so the dilemma, the question I was trying to answer for myself today is, do I spend time trying to reconnect to those of the past? Or do I spend my energy focused on trying to connect to the new? Because you guys are the new, they're the
Looking
past.
to the past is always a great idea.
That's what I was thinking.
I thought we were living in the now.
Well, let's just watch all the agents of chaos come right out into the open all at once.
It's fascinating.
Right.
Jack, what do you intend to accomplish by meeting with these people?
I've already
Reconciliation?
explained it.
He doesn't
Like you wanna
have
prove
friends.
something
How
to
He
many
them?
needs
times do we have to
friends.
go over this, you fucknut? What
That's
is this?
what we're
like,
here for. He needs friends.
just
John.
please, Moose, go take care of your child. It's screaming. It needs to be fed and clothed.
No, it's
Yes.
not. Don't say those things.
It's screaming.
So you're going to
I
go
hear
over
it.
there to make friends.
Here he goes again, Vance. And
John.
they wonder why these people, I
John.
want them all out of here.
Paul, I know. But here, hey, brother, this is the lessons I've been learning. Patience, trust that there's a reason behind the madness. There's got to be
Dude, this
some.
is like the Justice League. We're all here for a reason.
Right, but you don't know your reason. You're not paying
No, I know
attention.
my reason. You guys just
Well,
don't know how to
It's
utilize it
obvious.
right.
You interrupt and you keep trying to bring attention to you, claiming that you're helping Moose, but you're not.
Nope.
Yeah, Moose.
And it's not a
No.
Justice League. It's more like the League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen.
Except for you. You're kind of inordinary.
Actually, there's some
Shut up, Jack.
extraordinary people that have gathered together, and I see. This is where I mean, Paul. I see so much potential in what could be, but I thought I had potential in the past too, and so it's like, where do you turn?
Well, if you never pick up the shovel, you'll never dig the hole, Jack.
Don't be surprised if you wind up getting thrown out of here, at least for a few minutes.
Yep. Because you
Come
don't
on,
even
Jack. Don't take his advice.
I didn't
really?
give advice. I said, don't be surprised. Up there you go.
He
I didn't
warned
give-
you.
I said, don't be surprised if you find your ass backstage to have to, get in time out for a couple minutes and refocus. You seem confused tonight.
And
You got to be quiet like me.
you. Oh man.
That fucking guy's on thin ice with you is one thing I know.
Yes, brother. Well, see, and thank you. Moose
I
wanted
thought we were looking to the future, man.
Oh yeah, it's getting thinner as we speak.
well, and
Up
so
in the back.
here I wanted to point out, Mr. Moose, how quickly he was to blame, right? Wanted to blame Paul for pointing out what's fucking obvious, what's absolutely logical. You be an asshat on the panel, you're going to get put in the back. I didn't see any blame or reason to blame. See, Paul, these are fucking children, man.
Well, you're not going to get any argument from me there. Now you got
I
look at
know.
this guy down on the bottom. He's literally calling himself Agent of Chaos #1, so he's taking the top spot, and he's got a crooked camera. So completely chaotic presentment. He's upside down, bouncing off the walls.
This is
insane.
mild for him.
Yeah, this is his best. This is his best showing right here.
I know. Hey, back to the topic. Honestly, here's where my mindset is. Like it or not, everyone is. We're all learning about each other. And I've been saying this quite a while. I trigger egos. People misunderstand me. But part of my reason for wanting to go to the past is if I can get one of those clowns to become honest about the type of leader, the type of man that I've shown myself to be, there'd be no disputes online here about who is and is not trustworthy as far as me. And then, once I get credibility here or there, dude, that opens up doors, connections. And seriously, we are here to change this world. I know that's why I'm here. And I know that's why Paul's committed
I already changed
and
this
everything he's been doing.
world.
I'm sorry.
I already changed it. If you don't know that, then you're not paying attention. Everybody that's out there, you have the power to change the world, and you already have. Look back, see how you've changed it, and figure out how you can do a better job tomorrow. You.
Thanks, Wizard. I really appreciate you introducing me with that wonderful statement. I've been changing the world. How are you, Jack?
Wow. Okay. So that's the commander-in-chief himself, President Donald Trump, Jack. So this is an honor to have the man here.
Yeah, he sees you over there behaving.
I have to say I'm completely happy having Jack. He's trusting the plan. Storm coming. How are you, Jack? Tell me about you. Tell me what great and wonderful things. I've always said how great Jack is. I always knew it was true.
You always
really
tell
amazing.
Me, Mr. President, that Jack is an amazing man.
I've always trusted him. That's what I used to say, even as a kid. I trust Jack. Trustworthy Jack is what I called him. When I was 4 years old, I trusted Jack.
Oh my God, thank you. Just thank you. This is an honor and an absolute treat. And perhaps a prediction of the future. Because Donald Trump is another name that I'd like to meet. I'd like to have some conversations with him.
Well, that's the thing, Jack. You don't meet me. I meet you. You're so incredible and trustworthy. That's what I always called him, trustworthy Jack. That's what I knew him back in my books, back when I was 3 or 4 years old, maybe 5. We don't really know. But he was always trustworthy. Thank you, Jack.
Oh, praise God. Thank you. Thank you. This is amazing. Hey, if I can, though, to tail onto what Wizard was saying, too, something I was thinking about today regarding we've lived past lifetimes. Whether you take it into the karmic sense, the eternal sense of prior lives, reincarnation, regardless of that, in this physical lifetime, in this incarnation of a being, we've all lived different lives.
Amen.
Well, in the greater cosmic idea of that, it would be you live past lives to grow and to learn. Right? Not to carry the shit from the past. You got to deal with the past. You got to overcome the past. You got to face it and learn from it. But if we keep bringing the past into our lives today, it becomes a burden. So to lighten our load, we've got to set our problems down, set the past disagreements down. We got to set the load aside so we can enjoy the growth.
Jack, I gotta interrupt you. You're completely right. I remember in my book, Art of the Brahma, if Shiva destroys your businesses, you make more businesses. You reincarnate yourself over again. It doesn't matter if you lose everything, Jack. I always said, the only thing stopping me from reincarnating is my next loan. That's the only thing. Go ahead, Jack. I didn't mean Art of the Brahma. Go ahead, Jack. Sorry.
Right, and in the art of the feel, Mr. President, also talked about setting the load aside in order to enjoy the growth.
That's exactly what I told Stormy, but she didn't believe me. I don't know what to say.
Right.
Dude, hey,
We live
yeah,
and we learn. We live and we learn.
The art of the grab, bowling ball
guys,
style.
hey,
Storm's coming.
think about how obvious this distraction is. The similarities between the allegations to Trump and Clinton. You know, get the American public making excuses for the sexual deviance and make it as just a distraction from the true war crimes and financial crimes that have been fucking imposed.
Well, Jack, that really depends on the word is.
See that, Jack? That's the difference between me and lying Hillary or her husband or whoever the hell. Is I did have sexual relations with that woman, and she just wouldn't shut up about it, Jack.
Shut up.
Well, you know,
I mean, and it's really not right, you know, like it's a service violation. The whole reason you pay these women is for them to leave and keep quiet. So she didn't do her job correctly. And I want someone looking into that.
well, it's funny how the president can say women love being grabbed by the pussy, but then when a woman says he grabbed me by the pussy, nobody. What? You know, oh, what's the deal there? You know, it was okay before when he said it. Now somebody else is saying that he did. Wait a minute, what's wrong? People all of a sudden flip their mind.
Reminds me of one of my favorite songs. You know, "Reach Out and Touch." You know, you can finish the rest, of course. But anyway, go ahead, Jack. We really trust you. We appreciate everything you're doing for the white community, and we look we look forward to hearing more from you, Jack. Thanks.
Your appearance on this panel is perfect today. I am so grateful.
Hey, Jack, now that you got your house and the 70 grand, did you ever think about getting yourself an African American in there to clean up a little bit? Oh, for fucking. Wait.
Reach out and touch AIDS.
Hey, there is an Ethiopian beauty that I hope to spend time with in the future. But
she a Cleveland lady?
She's a fascinating story, and
his name is Akon, and I hope to speak with him after the UN. Akon, if you're listening, reach out to me.
Is it Akon's sister that you're enamored with there, Jack?
No, just Akon. He's the Ethiopian beauty, and he's got a lot of connections.
No. I tell you, my life over the past few years has been, I've been gifted with some amazing, incredible stories. And I've met some just captivating, some very fascinating people.
Like Alan Vance?
Alan
or
Vance?
Whatever's John Vance, my bad.
How about Jim Vaughn?
Well, and like Brian O'Shea, he's a fascinating character. He got my heart. He's captured my heart.
Jack,
Is there any relation between John Vance and Alan Vance?
I heard multiple voices.
We have the same. Jack, I had an urge to slut shame, but I held it back just for you.
Good, please. We shouldn't shame each other. Shame is what has convinced the inmates to police each other. Shame is what creates the slavery mindset. It's nonsense. Shame only exists from judgment. And
isn't it sometimes that you have to curtail your behavior, though?
Shame is what stops Jack from peering into windows and trying to love these women properly.
There you go.
Hey, you know what? Thoughts of shame do create the resistance to temptation. And I've done my shameful things.
Yeah, because you already know it's wrong. That should tell you
Yeah,
something.
you're right.
Most people don't pay attention to that. They think, oh, I'll just forgive myself and repent. And that's not the way it works. You grew up in that Catholic church. You go to church every Sunday, so you turn around and sin the other 6 days. That ain't the way it works. There's no back door. And once you follow the path, you're supposed to stay on that path. I yield.
You said something, and I missed the thought. The golly geez, I didn't mean for the silence.
He basically said that you're supposed to be repentant. You're supposed to feel shame is part of repentance. If I got that correct. I'm just paraphrasing, of course, but
well,
yes, it's a reminder that you already know what's wrong.
Yes, thank you for that reminder. It is. I mean, it's the temptation. We can establish self-control, and it's through the self-control that our temptations are overcome. And it takes practice. It takes practice and the willingness to establish self-control, to say these patterns of my behavior, they're not helping me, they're not helping others, I'm going to change it. And then if we overcome our temptations, I've been trying to figure out how to do a diagram to explain the levels of consciousness, like in a picture.
That would maybe be like the Dante's Inferno.
Similar, but a little bit. I have an idea that's a little different, but
Talcott's Inferno.
Talcott Inferno. Yeah.
Actually, where
Jack's
this is coming from is what Kareem, what Kareem was saying last night on Jeffrey's panel about the concept of God being the unlimited imagination that's within us. Carry that into the Christed consciousness, which is that which is pure and observes. And
so are you getting, do you conceive the reason why we get on you about you telling us to get out of our imagination? Because if you just said that imagination is where that God concept resides, then why would we want to come out of that? That is the extent of our creativity. That is where we're supposed to be. I yield.
Simple answer to that one. If Jack is God, why would you need to go into your imagination to talk to it? It's right in front of you, dummy.
Exactly. And like I said, we are gods.
Yes.
God is love. And if you want to prove you are love, you have to admit that you are God. I yield.
Amen. Where I was going with that too, and you're right. I misspoke about staying out of your imagination, but that's a partial truth because it is true. You do want to stay out of your imagination, give the control of the mind to God, and then allow the Christ consciousness to be the one who allows and disallows the thoughts to form. And our ego mind, the mind of the world, is the analyzer, the one that judges, the one that punishes, and the one that carries the guilt. So if we allow the egoic mind to be replaced with the Christed mind, see, and that's the other thing. In order to go from guilt and resentment, in order to go from judgment to forgiveness, you got to bring in the mercy of God. Because it's through the mercy of God that peace is known, that life is experienced. Everything we do and think and say, it really does matter. Because what we do, think, and say today with each other, what we learn from each other and don't learn from each other, it affects what we do tomorrow, apart and together. And so for all of you who are tuning in and sharing this realm with us, we're all one amazing, dynamic, incredible, magical experience.
We are, Jack, and I agree with you. And again, like I've said before, I think you're a good man. I think you're a great man. You've got a good mind. You know intellectual things. That's why I keep telling you I expect you to step it up. Start doing things. All of this, without doing it, I don't have much faith in you. Once I start seeing you do things, then I'm going to start supporting you. Because like I said before, I know you're not an idiot. You didn't get a job at the post office, which 90% of the people cannot do for no reason. Step it up. I'm on you. Been on you since day one, and I'm not going to let off, Jack. Like I said, I love you. I do.
You're tough. Hey, Wizard, your tough love was frustrating and confusing at the beginning, but I'm growing to know you better, and I think you're seeing me too. So thank you, brother. And stay tough. I mean, but allow yourself to soften too. There's nothing wrong with
very
softening.
soft. That's
I believe that.
Hard.
You know, I believe that.
I'm getting harder as you talk, Jack.
Paul, you are magical, man. Your timing and you're a man I watch too, Paul. I'm learning. I don't know where this is going to go.
Didn't I tell you to stay away from my window as well? The shame was supposed to keep you away from that window as well, and it still hasn't. So while I appreciate you watching me, we've had this conversation many a time.
No, I'm no longer observing others anymore. I just serious.
All right, how about this, Jack? Just we're spitballing right out of the ether here.
Yeah.
Jack Sparrowcott, world famous pirate for all the things everyone else is not famous for. So you slide down the rope, you fall down, right? You got the rum there, but you got a good heart. And then the guy goes, "You are without a doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of." And then you would say,
"But you have heard of me."
"But you have heard of me, man." This summer, Jack Sparrowcott. Jack Talcott is Jack Sparrowcott.
Oh my God. Who knows? Who knows? Yes, we could make it work. Dude, there's so many things, so many opportunities, and I don't know anymore. Serious. I've just given up. I've given up on trying to figure it out, and I'm having fun with life. Because, serious, this is our life to have fun growing and learning. And the best way to learn is to do.
I could not agree more.
Yes, Jack. You are supposed to have fun in life, but life is not about fun. Life is actually about right and wrong and knowing how to make things fun along the way. Because you have to deal with both.
Brother, I agree. You know, I can say this positive, joyful stuff right now, admittedly, because that's the moment of my experience. There are dark times. Everyone gets those challenges. And you know what? That's a reality of today. For those who might be listening, going through a dark time, please know there's hope, there's strength, there's light, there's people who care. And I don't know. I have hopes. I really do for the future because my faith is strong. And I didn't know, you know what? Honestly, that's the key. That is probably the difference between me and anyone else who I personally know is the amount of faith, the amount of trust, and I don't know. But the thing is the faith is always there. Learn from me. I accept responsibility for my stupidity. I denied myself faith and trust for most of my life. And that's a shitty
So
way.
are you saying that faith without works is dead then?
No, why did you hear that?
Because I just assumed that's where you were going with that, because you were saying about how you admit that you have made mistakes. So by that admittance, you are moving through to a better level.
Hey, bootlicker, can I
Yes.
just ask you specifically why your name is Asshat but Good Dad, as if someone up here's not a good dad?
I don't know. I wouldn't make that implication.
You don't know the reasons you do what you do?
It just happens. Life happens. It comes at you fast.
Right. You might need a psych eval.
So why did you think that was an appropriate way to title yourself?
Because I was called an asshat and I've been called a good dad. So I've been called both things. So I identify with both.
Were you called a good dad here? Is there some relevance to bringing that forward to here? I know I called you an asshat, and I still hold that opinion.
Okay, well, you can hold your opinions. That we all have opinions. That's fine.
Okay, so explain your purpose behind the but good dad. It's quite obvious. If you just admit your intentions, you're making a comparison to me, are you not?
Well, if you want to take it that way, that would be up to you.
What is the truthful answer?
That would be entirely up to you.
What is the truthful answer behind your choices to bring yourself with that identification?
Because I have been called an asshat and a good dad.
And what is
I was called a good dad earlier today by my son. When we were talking about he wanted to go play airsoft, and I said, I can do that for you. And he said, you're an awesome dad.
You know what? Hey, good. Congratulations. I just realized the futileness of this. There's no reason to waste my time or any disrespect anyone else on this platform.
Can I interject here real quick, Jack?
Please.
Because what I saw there was you making an implication on an ad hominem that had nothing to do with you.
Okay. Maybe you're right. Maybe after his patterns of insults and disrespect,
What about my pattern
all of that?
What about my pattern of insults and stuff? It goes
well, those aren't right, Wizard. I'm not ignoring those in your defense of him.
If you're showing acceptance and growth for me, one of the proponents that's been hardest on you, I now expect that you step it up with regard to other people as well.
You can leave too. Jack, if I'm not meeting your expectations, you can leave.
Let me finish up. This is the whole thing about me being placating to everybody else's concept about not yelling and being diminutive. Okay?
What is your point?
My point is that I'm trying to help you, Jack, in not being diminutive.
How do you think you're helping
by not being diminutive to other people because of your own
thoughts and concepts. All right, so let me make sure I understand
That's
you.
what I've been doing based on my past experiences.
Right, no reason to continue explaining. No reason to continue explaining. Let me make sure I understand you, though, okay? So you're offering me your perspective, your guidance and counsel, that I should be more respectful and not assume his patterns of disrespect are repeating.
Correct.
Right? Okay, correct. So while I recognize that, I also recognize your patterns past patterns of offering me disrespect and patterns of enabling those who disrespect me.
I don't enable anybody.
Well, you certainly don't speak up. You certainly do not speak up or stand up for anything good about me. So, Wizard,
yes, I
here's
do.
the point. Here's the point.
I just stood up for you a minute ago.
Yep, fair enough. Fair enough. You're right. I misspoke.
But I've done it before.
So let me come back to the point. This guy has proven himself to be a disrespectful asshat to me in my home.
As have I.
Right. So you're also on thin ice, but I have more respect for you because of the wisdom you actually offer.
And that's the problem. See, we're told many times, and we all have it imprinted in us from the time we're little kids.
I'm not going to sit here and listen to your excuses. We can move on. We can move on.
I love to jump in, Jack. Maybe I can offer some clarity in this time of need. You know, as the man with the overly brushed beard in the pink light district before, as he was saying, he may have had some comments that were kind of rude, and I've been known to have comments that were rude before. I understand that, and I've apologized in the past. But as my good friend Tony Robbins used to say, there is no such thing as failure. Jack, do you know the rest of that? There are only results. And so you have to ask yourself, what results have you acquired and what results have you accumulated over time? Right? Right? Isn't that right? Isn't that what America wants? Results. There he is. I've always loved that man in the pink light district. I've always been there for you. Remember me? When you brushed your beard for me? Anyway, Jack, I've loved spending time with you. I really have to go. I really appreciate your support. We look forward to you voting for me and make America great again. Storm coming, you know, Stormy Daniels coming, all the rest, you know. Have a good evening, folks. Love you. Bye.
Thank you for your leadership, great sir.
I don't mean to insult you, but the reports that we get are Stormy Daniels not coming.
That's not true, Paul. You know, that's not true.
That's part of why she's upset, she says. But I'm not going to get into it. Family brother.
I paid her for that. That's not true. Goodbye.
Okay.
So, Jack, you think I'm being disrespectful. And I can understand that. I've been in your shoes. When somebody called me a horrible father, because I was a horrible father at that point in time, I accepted it and I changed it and I made amends and I did the good work that I was supposed to do. Now, Jack, I have told you I enjoy your company many a times and I ride you much like Wizard rides you. Now you're interrupting me. You told me.
Right. You can fucking leave.
Room in the back.
No, he can just fucking go.
Yep.
Piece of shit. I stand behind that statement. I called him as well. So, one who offers no respect wants to place themselves above me and imagine these insults, wants to mischaracterize me and my abilities as a father. What a loathsome, despicable human being.
Right.
So it really is sick. Like I mean that because he obviously has some guilt having a bastard child, and unfortunately in our society, bastard children is the norm. And for him to shit on you like that, he obviously has some guilt. So he's just projecting what he feels about himself onto you. Is what I recognize, yeah.
Here's my guess is through manipulation, maybe even force, he required people to stay in his life. They succumbed to his will. But he's obviously a very confused man who thinks it's appropriate to make assumptions and mischaracterize people who speak publicly about God and spirituality and global reform and ending slavery, ending wars. He seems to think, I'm assuming this is him trying to come back again.
Could it actually be envy, Jack? Like, I actually do sense envy, and I'm actually kind of being serious right now because he sees you as having a purpose and a goal.
Let's not forget this man claims to be master of other people. This is what he said the other day. And I suspect that he
a master of disguise.
He is involved in some, much like Robespierre, a reign of terror in that community.
Yes, absolutely. I'm an advocate for destruction and chaos. And my bastard son that I was married to, his mom, when we copulate,
I don't need
there it is.
He admitted he's proud of his actions of chaos, and I don't need him in here.
Right out of the horse's mouth.
So this is the thing, though, Paul. Seriously, you try and have productive conversations, and people like that. Although, in defense, you were the one that brought that to my attention. But he was waiting for an opportunity anyway, I'm sure. These agents of chaos, Paul, Wizard, John, I mean, I'm trying to think of who I've actually had. Never mind. What the hell do we do? This is our reality, right? This is our time to live. What is achieved by a fool like that?
Well, it's a rhetorical question, obviously little to nothing. And, we got almost a full panel here, and we might even have to make some room. Michael, do you have anything to say for yourself?
Yeah, we can make room.
Yeah, room in the back. Plenty of room in the back to sit around, take up space, create chaos.
Right.
Turn this all into one big fucking joke day after day, cost everybody their time, energy, attention, resources. They're all known for the same MO, day in and day out.
Yes, and then run around saying they're helping.
Right.
Trying to tell you to their face, trying to tell you to your face that they're helping, and you're like, no, you're not. You're really not.
No. Little to no help is coming. I reconcile that.
Well, Paul, this is why I have faith in God, man. Because we can't have faith in these people. Not anymore. They're fucking nuts. So that's why I got to give it up. God must be in charge. God, there's no way this world could be operating.
Well, Jack, I want to believe that. I really do. But looking at these folks strolling through the panel, I'm starting to think maybe the other thing's in charge. You get what I'm saying?
Well, Paul, I agree. Okay, so, but that still brings us back to what do? We're fucking prisoners here on Earth until we overcome hell. We start sharing freedom.
Careful with the we talk, sir.
There is only we. Well, there's only I. There is only the I, which is we. We are that. There is one I that is. That is the I am. The I am is within me. The I am is within you. And the I am we know is now. I love logic. Because that's all this is logic.
Can we hear from this noble American fellow?
Logic the rapper, Jack? Is that what you're talking about?
Another one. You know the sound of their voice by now. You know what's coming with that. More obfuscation, more detractions, more deflections, more dissensions. Logic the rapper. You think Jack Talcott's sitting up here day after fucking day like myself and others to talk about Logic the rapper, sir? Or is this just your way to again introduce another chaotic element?
Distractions and deflections, man.
What we need in this Talcott world order is order out of chaos. Am I right, gentlemen?
Well, the order is there. The chaos denies it. And the ego is that which is chaotic. So when we surrender the ego, the peace is found. And through the peace, I don't remember where I started on that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, the reason that you got thrown off is because you're trying to do something with his non-point. It's always just like, he hands you a pile of shit and then goes shine it up and make something out of it. You did your best, okay?
Paul, thank you yes, thank you. Golly geez. And that's what you deal with too.
Right.
But you know what? We all do that. I mean, humans communicate like shit. Let's face it. There's like a big disconnect in human beings between what they think and then what they say. And then there's another disconnect between what's heard and then what's understood. And so humans run around telling each other, thinking that everything makes sense, but people walk away going, what the fuck was that about? Right?
Well, this guy, John Vance, too, man, he's playing a dangerous game. Okay, and he thinks nobody's on to him, but I'm on to him. Okay, and I'm not going to say too much. He knows what I'm talking about. Various messages and information, behind the scene. Oh, look, he's doing and undoing his mic. See the confusion and fear? Muting, unmuting, muting, unmuting. He knows what I'm talking about, and I'm watching you, Vance. Okay? If it all comes out in the open, if I bring it all out in the open, you're done for with Talcott and the rest. So,
what's that again, exactly?
No, we're not going to do it right here.
What is the event? What is your gripe that you have with me right now?
No, there's
Why
no
you just
gripe
bring it out in the open right now?
No.
What is your beef with me?
No, I'm not going to do this with you right here, right now. I'm just telling you.
Well, you're the one that brought it up.
I'm just saying.
You're the one looking for controversy. You're the source of controversy.
You know what I'm talking about.
You brought about the controversy.
If what I'm saying is true, then you know what I'm talking about. If it's not, then let's just move forward.
What is that exactly? I don't even know what you're talking about. You're just bringing up controversy for its own sake. Are you talking about the private messages in the back I have?
Well, it's beyond that, and I'm not going to get into it. Okay, please.
I don't even know what this is.
Then let's, if there's relevance at a later time, it'll be readdressed, I'm sure.
Right.
And we're definitely not going to address the flogging of women comments from the other day either.
Well,
but it's still very disconcerting, and there's a lot of folks who are upset about that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I stand by that.
Well, see, John, that's an area where you and I disagree with as well. I think I politely inferred that, but
I think we did actually have a conversation about it, and we respectfully disagreed with each other, and we just moved on. So
right, but we're going to have folks on panel who, in the modern day world, advocate for stringing women up and whipping them, right, until they bleed, essentially, which is what flogging is. So in any society or situation, you think that's appropriate, and just disagreement is supposed to make your immorality okay, right? And I don't accept this idea of tolerance for civil discourse for immoral actions and behavior. There's no amount of civil discourse.
Why is that so? Well, obviously you're not supposed to whip them too hard, but it's the idea is it's not to hurt them, but it's to shame them. That's the intent behind the punishment.
Yeah, that's what we need. More guilt, more shame, more dominance, more violence. The man is a cretin.
Well, and here, let's real world this today. I mean, I'm seeing the news, some of the stuff, the oppression of women and because of religion in Iran, Afghanistan now with the Taliban or whoever's taken over that area, enforcing this nonsense of women not getting educated. This is bullshit, and it's all being done.
Women shouldn't be educated. They should be in the home.
There you go.
See, John,
So
that's
Vance is going to
nonsense,
sign on to the
too.
Taliban.
Oh yeah, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. Yeah.
John, this is ignorance, my brother, and unfortunately,
You
please.
think women are actually fulfilled by being
There's
educated
going
in
to be
the
some more room in the
system?
back because
John,
Well, the problem,
Jack,
the
if you
Taliban.
want, like, Paul
the only
seems like,
problem I see with your statement, John,
yeah.
is the education part. I agree that women should stay at home as well. Because
Well,
the
like
women are supposed to-
post-secondary education.
Listen, according to the scripture, the women are supposed to stay home and educate the children. So I don't agree with
Yeah.
the education part because the women are supposed to educate the children. However, I do agree with the women staying at home because it's the men that are supposed to protect. That means they're supposed to go out and the women are supposed to stay home. That's just logic. and reason
Wizard, you're
according
not
to me.
getting what he's doing, okay? He wants
I
to
do get what he's
advocate for a
doing. I'm helping
system
correct.
where he can
I'm helping
force
correct the way I
women.
see it.
He wants to force women to fuck him and stay with him because no woman would want to fuck him and or stay with him and
No,
have
I
children.
actually want
So
a
he
system
wants
of
to impose
morality.
punitive.
You guys don't even understand what I'm saying, and obviously you're triggered because there
You're
is some truth
despicable,
to
Vance.
what I'm saying.
well,
There is some
John,
truth to what I'm saying
there's,
because
Yeah,
obviously
there is
I'm
some.
against
as
women
well.
going on to post-secondary education, getting loads of debt, and then having a career that they're unfulfilled and watching Netflix and banging random dudes. Yes, that is immoral. That is
Well,
repugnant to
John,
me.
you're bringing in
That
such
is
a
the
straw
idea.
man fucking argument
Let him
to
the fuck
No,
build
out.
a future
no, this is a
state.
straw man. So you want
You're
to talk?
blaming,
Yeah,
you're
you want to talk
blaming
about my ideas as
society.
being immoral now?
Hey,
Come on.
John, we
So I'm
should
not a
either move
libertarian.
on from this or you should be quiet and listen, okay?
Okay.
Because this gender supremacy is bullshit. The place for a man or a woman is where their heart and their spirit leads them. Now, we live in a world of confusion where they have very confused minds. And confused minds keep the spirit from developing and growing into what is moral and what is righteous. The
Don't you feel
problem,
like? Okay.
the problem I have with what you're promoting, John, is this, my words, this foolish idea that men and women should be spending time judging one another and placing expectations on what the other is supposed to do without punishment or without whatever. We've got to stop judging each other and recognizing we're here
Isn't the
together.
problem of today is that we're diluting principles, and we're trying to soften our words so that we don't offend people.
I think
But I think if
today,
anything, we need to be more clear and concise with our language and our principles more than ever, as opposed to just getting clicks and being famous and trying to talk to famous people. I would just rather just die as a martyr that way, as opposed to just.
Is that what you're saying is happening?
Yeah, obviously you guys are diluting the conversation. You're diluting the well of yeah, and then
and you're saying, get the fuck out.
Yeah, that mischaracterization of what is happening is not acceptable, especially when the purpose is simply to argue over beliefs, calling them principles. It's nonsense and it's egoic foolishness. I mean, John and I have had some good conversations, away from here with ideas of a better world. But this sexist stuff, I'm beyond that these days.
Yeah, so we'll flog him the same way he wants to flog women for fucking someone else he doesn't like. And when he gets in line, right, through his methods, then, maybe he won't have the same attitude of being in control, and he's going to decide who's going to do what and when through the coercion and duress of violence. No, we don't need more of that.
How much?
Vance can go ahead and take my title if he wants. Agent of Chaos numero uno. He can have it. He's got the right. He's got the right.
You yield properly. Way to go, brother. Hey, speaking of, there's a wonderful dad sitting here in the background again, and I'm wondering, how often do you allow the rope to extend? How often do you turn the cheek and allow this disrespect to continue? How long would you allow the disrespect from someone like you to continue? Wonderful dad.
Every single time. Every single time.
Is
Because
that
it's
what you
not
would do?
disrespect. It's not disrespect.
Really?
If it was disrespect,
I disagree. And it's the amazing thing about being me is I don't have to think like you. And I obviously think you are an asshat, whoever your name is. I think it was Nubs or whatever. And congratulations, you found someone with an opinion of you that's different than mine. Doesn't prove you right. And as far as I'm concerned, in my house, with this purpose of discussing solutions and brainstorming together, as it was titled, I see you as an absolute nuisance.
What's that down there now? Oh, Humpty Dumpty Cop. So that's okay. Like the level of intellect is just so low at this point that I can't help but to laugh. Just the childlike displays. So let's hear more about Humpty Dumpty Cop. Maybe he'll tell us a story, bedtime story.
Well, is that what we should do, or should I entertain people like Lori Chavez, who apparently they want to hear more from this clown?
are you bringing me all your focus, Jack? Are you going to actually listen instead of just put me in back?
Show is yours, dumbass. Prove yourself.
That's not very nice.
Reveal who you are.
Well, I will prove who I am. I'm a gentleman that looks at somebody like yourself and says there's a lot there. There is definitely a lot there because you are a good individual. And I believe in the inner part of my heart, deep down inside, I know there is a spark of true light. And I just question your motives if you don't have all your ducks in a row. And what I mean by that is, like I said, back to the original thing where this all started with the whole comment of being a father. A father is somebody that is able to lead and guide his family first. Then you go out to the masses. Now, I would encourage you to do that. And until you do that, I question the legitimacy of any and all of what you say, for the simple fact that that first step is not done. If you can build a building without the first block, then you got something that none of us have whatsoever. Because without the first block, you cannot lay the second block. Yield. Riveting.
Lori, was that satisfactory for you? you accept everything he said as truth? See, he never explained his urgency for making sure others believed his opinion on my platform with my goals, my agendas. He never bothered to explain his purpose or his intentions, as I kept asking him why he chose to make disparaging statements about a stranger he doesn't know about. Oh, am I being a douche, Lori? Am I? Fascinating. Welcome, Christos.
Hello.
Apparently, this is my life. Apparently, this is the time I live in, where men and women call themselves righteous and moral, discussing flogging of women, people,
Right.
strangers, making assumptions and mischaracterizations about their false assumptions. What an asshat wants to make a narrow claim that only someone with his definition of a family is qualified to speak on leadership. That's his narrow view and his insistent opinion that was supported by people like others. How fascinating. Why do people choose to live the way that they do? Why do people choose to behave with such rudeness, such lack of thought, such lack of clarity in intention or purpose? How many are willing to admit that they are living without clarity or purpose? That they're just going through life trying to make a name for themselves, or trying to impress someone, a family or a child or a boss, maybe trying to impress some employees. Or how many people are willing to admit that they lack a clear purpose? Mr. Nubbs obviously demonstrated he lacked a clear purpose, that he made choices without clear intentions, or at least he was too cowardly to admit that his intentions were unpure, were intended to try and belittle a stranger publicly that he knows nothing about. Someone who I've done nothing to him, I've done nothing to harm anyone.
May I share a poem to lighten the mood?
Please.
This is called Canadian Humpty Dumpty, brought to you by Lou Bass Productions. John Vance sat on a wall. John Vance had a great fall. All of King Unslavious' harem and all of Unslavia laughed and couldn't put John Vance together again.
I like that. I was wondering what was going on with this little egghead animation, and I didn't even know who that was. I don't know who that is still. I wasn't looking close enough. Is that Timmy with that background picture? Of the Humpty Dumpty bearded Canadian?
That was Timmy.
No, it was
Beautiful.
Lou.
Hey, so Wizard, I get,
Beautiful, Timmy. Beautiful.
You brought the attention for me to the back chat here, and Wizard, an interesting observation. One of the moderators I have restricted the chat so that only subscribers could comment, and so here you are sharing my platform, offering me advice and criticism. Yeah, you don't even have the care or respect to subscribe yet. So you're still withholding your respect.
If you remember correctly, I did subscribe, and I did post your channel.
All right. So what's preventing you from subscribing today?
And your site on my site. And then when you disrespected me, not once, not twice, but the third time and made me look like a fool, then I cut everything. When you earn my respect again, I will subscribe and I will like.
Take your happy ass elsewhere then.
Oh.
I don't really care. I'm not here to meet everyone's expectations anymore. I'm here to invite people to join in the success, to join in the movement that I've been saying.
What was Wizard crying about?
I asked him why he was withholding subscribing to the channel. It's a silly, stupid, petty
How do you know?
disagreement.
To your channel or you to his channel?
Well, he made a comment in the back chat here, responding to someone in the chat or someone. There you are. I can't respond in lower chat because I have to sub and not ready to do so yet. Check your inbox, noble American. Did get the email. So the man's willing to sit here, offer me more criticism, more suggestions that I continue being disrespected by that other asshat Nubs. And so he wants to sit here in my fellowship, encouraging continuing disrespect towards me, withholding the simple little act of subscribing, adding to the subscriber count.
I see.
Even though I've repeatedly said that I'm spending my time with the purpose of trying to grow my subscriber count, trying to grow the influence.
Right.
You know, maybe not waste my time trying to pursue cranky old men who have no fucking gratitude.
Right. I see.
Oh man, my energies are changing. I'm thinking maybe we should wrap this up. Paul, are you even here anymore? All righty.
Yes, Jack, I'm listening. Listening to keep order over all these pathetic slaves.
Well, the thing is at what point do you just give up? I mean, these people don't want to change. They want to repeat their same fucking patterns, claim that they're changing, claim that they're understanding, but they obviously don't understand. And Paul, they obviously don't respect me. They don't respect you. In my opinion.
Yeah, I'm seeing
the way
that.
they present themselves.
I'm seeing it.
But Jack, if they won't give up on you, can you give up on them?
Yep. My faith is in God. I don't give a fuck about you and you interrupters anymore. Okay? You know what? Let me not take that word you. I don't give a fuck about the interrupters, the critics, and those who want to disagree and want to force their disbelief and their lack of faith on me. I don't give a shit. God will help you when you turn to God, and God is the truth. So you can either learn from messengers of truth, from those that God brings into the experience, and those messengers who are sharing their time and energies. I already know what I want, what I know. I don't need to fucking impress anybody. I can go live a happy life elsewhere. You know, I can't speak for Paul, but the idea of doing this is to help others. People don't respect that. Go enjoy your fucking slavery. I'm suggesting steps and tips to free your mind. So today we talked about consciousness. We talked about some of my goals, trying to bring peace to the world, trying to reunite my family, trying to achieve justice. I explained some ideas, my dilemma. What do? Do I spend my time here with ungrateful people in the current, or do I spend my time with ungrateful people from my past? Or should I just be fuck humanity and I'll go be one with God and love out in the woods by a river or something?
Last one sounded good, actually. Sounds good to me.
Yeah,
Like for me.
it's like order of operations. Go out and live in the woods, get out in nature, really connect with God and yourself. And then once you spend some time doing that, it's like things will unlock and open up where you'll be able to accomplish such tasks as, bringing more peace, inspiring more people, sharing the knowledge, waking others up, lifting the consciousness of the collective. So actually, I feel what you're saying. Maybe in a way, you could almost like alchemize it, turn it around, and going out into nature and like almost like a monk and having like a spiritual retreat or pilgrimage could enable things spiritually down the road, which would empower you to take the action to affect the collective as you seek to do.
This is fascinating. Lori, if you have a way to come up here, please do. No shit. The outside world doesn't disappear. Congratulations. 19 years of becoming you and brought you to here. Congratulations. Nothing I say is new. Correct. There's nothing new under the sun. The things I'm saying are the same things that have been said by many others. So your ignorance and your opinions really don't mean shit. Doesn't really matter what you think. What matters is what is true. And what is true regardless of whether you accept it or deny it, whether you ignore it or whatever. It's up to you. Lori, whoops. Lori, the truth is simple. When the egoic mind surrenders and allows the simple to be accepted. And if you don't see the value in a man like me who presents peace, presents compassion, forgiveness, motivation, if you can't see the value, well, what is wrong with humanity? Singular, how you doing?
Good. How about yourself? Good.
I'm blessed. You're a
Is that
different faith. I
singularity?
don't.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm in a dark room. I have my lights off. Trying to shut the cam off, but I can't get the option right now. Anyways, whatever. I'll just put some tape over there. My cam option, I can't get it for some reason. Oh, maybe I can get it now. No,
It's good to see you over here, Singularity.
it's good to see everybody here.
I don't know. Have we met? Have we met, Singularity? Sounds like you're known, and the name
Yeah, we've
sounds
met.
like
We've
something.
met. Whose panel are you on? Oh man,
Probably Ian.
Ian's panel. Yeah. Okay, there I go. My screen came back. All right, now I can see everybody. All right, I put tape over my cam. I'm just sort of chilling out right now, but I can't have the option to mute or shut off the cam for some reason. My thing's glitching.
Ian actually had said something about taking down the video of what is this place with Jack. I don't know if he was just having like a little moment and just saying things with charged emotions or what was going on with that. I didn't know if you knew anything about that, Jack. He mentioned multiple videos. It wasn't just like he was focusing on like the one he did with you, but he did mention it.
Yeah, I think he was just going through some stuff. That's all, like everybody at some point or another.
I've tried communicating with Ian on and off panel, but I trigger egos, and I think Ian is working through some ego triggers with Paul and me and associating the two of them together. So
I think you're right. Yeah, I think that's definitely something going on to a certain degree. Yep.
Well, honestly, this is something, and maybe Paul's getting his own experience with this, but I get people that they want to bash me because I'm tied to Paul. And I'm sure Paul's getting criticism because he's allowed himself be connected with me too. So it's all nonsense, man.
So large, so vast, will escape their perception. Those who will see it will be thought of as insane. We will create separate fronts to prevent them from seeing the connection between us. We will behave as if we are not connected, to keep the illusion alive. Our goal will be accomplished one drop at a time, so as to never bring suspicion upon ourselves. This will also prevent them from seeing the changes as they occur. We will always stand above the relative field of their experience, for we know the secret is the absolute.
That's the person that had Yurt as the picture last time. The thumbnail was like Austin from In a Thought Experiment. That's hella weird. They always come in with some like sounds like an old recording, and I don't even know. It's like some clip from a movie or something.
It sounded like it was the recording from Saw. I thought he was putting on a Saw tape. Maybe it was Jigsaw. Maybe it could be Jigsaw Jack that came up here. So, anyways, hello to everybody. How's everybody doing?
Doing well.
Good, man. It's cool to see you over here, Singh.
Yeah, good to see you all here.
Jack, I think you'll like Singularity if you start hearing more from him.
He's heard from. We had conversation on Ian's. You probably just don't recall. We actually had a pretty good conversations in crosstalks.
Did we? Unfortunately, my memory of times with Ian has been.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, there was a lot of chaos going on there.
Well, yeah, the day where it was supposed to be, where I talked about that, it turned into some fucking gauntlet, just one after another after another. Let's bash Jack all fucking day. And Ian just went along with it. Just
life is chaos.
He didn't take any control over that panel. He did give the keys to you in a sense, I think he said.
Oh, bullshit. He said he did, but as soon as I tried saying anything, I was just completely ignored the whole time. And it was like, hey, it wasn't the first time he's done that to me. He kicked me out before because I said I had faith in Paul. He disrespected me. You know what? I've come to accept it. This is my role. People reveal their lack of character, the proof that they shouldn't be trusted by me. They make sure that shit becomes clear. And then I get to practice my kindness and my forgiveness. Anyway. Yeah, so if we talked Singularity, I'm sorry if I don't really remember it.
No worries. No worries. I remember that live panel quite well, actually. It was quite it was quite the fire blast towards your way with everybody. Yeah. But it is what it is.
Well, in my opinion, it was a huge fucking disappointment because, like it or not, what anybody thinks of me, I actually know a lot. I know a lot about what brought us in the past. I know a lot about what's going on today. I know a lot about a lot of things. And that was what I thought. I thought that was going to be a chance for me to share some of the things I've been learning.
Yeah.
Turns into an ego pissing match every time.
Yeah, it went the way it was going to go. I'm going to ask you a question, Jack. From your point of view and perception, what would you define that many people have been stagnated? What is their main block? Like, what do you see as people's main hurdle that you obviously do a lot of panels and you get to, have conversations with many. What do you see as being a stagnation to people actually what you define as awakening up, becoming aware?
That should be an easy answer.
Yeah, I just want Jack's opinion. Yeah. He reviews a lot of
I
people.
have my
Yeah,
answer, but
actually
I
anybody,
want to
Jack
hear.
especially.
Well, I have my answer. It's false comfort. It's the illusion of a comfort zone, the illusion of this is good enough, or this is the best that it's going to be, or I can't change this, or blah, 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 fucking excuses. The false illusions of comfort and safety is what keeps people from growing.
I agree with that. I'd have to add in something more like a hybridized comfort with the comfort and ego of just the false construct of false reality of ego inflation. I'm this, I'm that, and so forth. Whatever it be, ego defending. I'll be honest with everybody here. I see a lot of ego defending, and for myself, I can see that everybody doing that. Me. That's not how things get resolved. It's about putting in everything we have to put in, and just working with alchemizing all the conversation so we can get resolved and get the hell out of here.
Amen, brother. Thank you. Holy cows, you are a welcome addition today. Thank you.
I knew
Yeah,
things
well,
were gonna turn around when he came in here. Not bad.
Anybody else? Anybody else has a different or can add?
Yeah, let's all add.
Other
We can
answers,
add.
please.
Yeah, other answers.
Please,
What's
everybody
preventing
take a turn, please. I'd like to hear everybody's opinion, then we can alchemize, right? This is what it's all about, right?
This is
Let's
what
just
it's
drop
all
the.
about.
Yeah.
So yeah, who's next?
Right next to him.
Me?
RCA. Yeah, go for
Yeah,
it.
go for it.
Well, okay, just really quick. I say faith and purpose. I mean, that's all I could think of right now. Right off the bat. I feel. That's it. I don't know. I might not be right, but that's how I feel.
Agent, can you expand on the faith part? I understand the purpose. I just want to see your perception and get everything on the table.
Faith in the spirit. Faith to trust, just fully giving into the spirit. Let the spirit of God take over, man. Don't be afraid of it.
So basically a higher perception, higher awareness of
right. Yeah.
All right.
For everyone, just so nobody get triggered, I guess. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Next.
Well, it's interesting to me that Alan Watts spoke on, not focusing, if I remember correctly, not really focusing on purpose, but living a purposeless life. And, many people seeing Alan Watts, of course, as somewhat of a spiritual infiltrator and deceptionist of sorts. But I don't have an opinion on the matter. Not solid anyway. What say you, Jack, on that, on Alan Watts and leading a purposeless life?
I'm a big fan of Alan Watts. I missed what you said about his words on purposeless. But
well, if I'm not mistaken, I thought he was the one who spoke on not getting caught on purpose. Why
I think you're right. I think you're right. He had a slightly different philosophy than I. But I totally get. I think his philosophy of don't even worry about purpose was more from the Eastern Zen, that type of mindset. But it's my interpretation that the Christed mind is the one that fills itself with the purpose, where it takes that Zen state of flow and then it brings in the energies of emotion and will. God, that is a beautiful. Hold on just a sec. That scenery, man. Mother Nature, man. Fucking beautiful.
Mother Nature plus a little bit of chemicals.
Well, yeah, you know what? You're right. There's probably chemicals adding to the colors, but
Chembo.
Isn't that sad? Our pollution does. Well, you know what?
Well, it's interesting, right? Because it looks so beautiful, ironically, right? So it's a paradox. It's strange. Like a Kembo, if you've ever seen a Kembo, like a rainbow chem thing, it's crazy, but it's beautiful. But it's it's fake. And
Dude, I looked up one day and I don't know what it was, but it looked like an oil slick in the sky. It was just a rainbow translucent, but it looked like a rainbow. It looked like an oil slick. And it wouldn't surprise me, all the crap in the air.
Yeah.
But see, this is I mean, guys, if we look at the pollution and the wars and the poverty and the oppression and all this stuff, it can be overwhelming and infuriating, and it can make us feel hopeless and small.
It could.
Back to that question you were asking. Go
we
ahead.
could look at it. Or we could look at it a different way. You know, maybe all the nanotech they're spraying with the micronized nanochips, maybe part of terraforming. Maybe it has an evil agenda, but just maybe that's part of the some type of evolution acceleration, right? Because you know, as you perceive things, it really starts to manifest in your reality. And who's not to say when they spray those things up in the air, you know, somebody who's really tuned with their thoughts could just clear all that crap right out of the air. Possibility and probability, right? People are doing cloud busting with their thought, right? So why not take it to the next level? But either way, yeah, there is a lot of technology being sprayed in the air. So apparently, maybe it's all just a facade. Maybe it's just a lie. Maybe they want us to think that technology is going in us, so we get fear and then they control us. So who knows? You know, maybe they're just doing smoke shows up there. Who's to say what they're doing really? You know what I mean?
Well, I'd like to know. And that's kind of the point of, I don't know what you've heard of me, but that is my purpose, my goal. What I keep trying to share is that we can create a world without secrets and with transparency and without corporate and government secrets. Maybe we would have full knowledge of the crap that's going on in the airs, stuff that's being put into the rivers and the foods. When secrets are no longer legal, the temptation for humans to steal and oppress from each other will be taken away. And without conflicts and debts holding humanity back, imagine what we could accomplish together.
Lots.
Right. So the only thing that's preventing us is that question you asked. What is preventing people from growing and changing? What is preventing people from reaching out to that which is new? And it's not even new, it's always been there. Freedom. Freedom is ours to freedom is ours to reclaim and to protect. And the best way to reclaim the freedom we have is through the truth, exposing the truth, right?
Yes, perceiving the truth, exposing the lie, the inaccurate information. And it all begins with one being informed that we are actually in a thought projection reality, and our thoughts really do change dark programming and conditioning, whatever so may be. Even don't be surprised if they are spraying technology up there, somebody's thought could just take that technology right out of the sky or reprogram it with a thought. Our thoughts, I'm telling you all here, our thoughts are powerful and they manifest. It's just nobody has ever told us that our thoughts actually change matter, alter matter, reprogram matter. Just like, what is that? The water of Emoto, that guy who kind of what's with water. Some guy, what was he, a Buddhist or something, went to a river and they tested the water. It was polluted. It was asymmetrical shapes. It was ugly. Then he did a prayer, did meditation for, I guess, 10 minutes or something, really short period. And then they tested the water and it had all structured symmetrical high form structures. It restructured the water and they tested the water up to, was it half a mile from where he was, and it was all affected up to half a mile even further. So it's basically his thought of intent was his prayer, and obviously the yogi guy, whoever did it, knew what he was doing, how, you know, with no doubts he had his thoughts that he's going to, you know, how could it find this, bring the water to a higher frequency, a better structure, right?
Hey, brother, I don't know if you can see or if you know who it is. Jesse, thanks for returning again. Jesse Howell from Missing Link. He spends time, he's studied and focuses energy on pure water himself. I know that about him.
Findaspring.com is a website where you can get natural spring water. It's called findaspring.com. They actually blocked me on Facebook for sharing this link so many times. And it's called findaspring.com. We drive an hour, we get natural spring water. I collect about 250 liters of it when I go because it's an hour drive and gas is obviously not cheap. So I make it worth it, but 250 liters I get, and then I have spring water for the month or month and a half, and then go back to get spring water again.
Do you further filter it, or you just keep it as is?
I get it right from I don't filter it. I don't boil it. I don't do anything. I think that all the nutrients and it structures the water coming through the springs. It filters through the sand. It's moving, so it's structured water. Never been sick from the water, and I've been doing it for years now. That's all I drink is natural spring water,
Jesse seems like he's
unfiltered,
having problems
unchanged.
coming in.
Yeah, I knew about this website a few years ago. I don't think I ever actually utilized it, but I should, man. I should give it another try. Some people don't have any, anywhere nearby, of course, but.
Yeah, mine and my girlfriend's city is about an hour. One's an hour and 20 minutes drive each way. Another one is 50 minutes each way. My girlfriend's city,
Maybe Jesse should go out and come back in.
Can't hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. Was there a problem with the audio? Hey, let me address this. This is not me typing, okay? There's an imposter of Jack Talcott. This is my life.
Troll, there's people just to push your buttons, Jack. People want to push your buttons, so just stay on your level head and you'll be good.
It's been keeping me on my toes. I'm trying to walk the narrow path of being kind. And what is going on here? Hello, brother. Can't hear you on this one.
Can't see him, can't hear him.
Hello.
Hello,
So
brother.
John Vance is now down there. I can't believe him. I went to go get something to eat, and I looked down there, and now he's saying Jack's Islamophobic. So you see what I'm saying, Jack? Why I don't want these people around you? They're fucking dangerous. They're dangerous to what we're trying to do and achieve, right? Now we got someone sitting next to you who the whole time says you're Islamophobic when you try to tell him he can't beat on women.
Okay, I want to throw something else.
Right.
Nice try, Vance.
Paul, thanks for bringing that to my attention. When I started seeing some of the things he was bringing up, I saw that we were going to have some disagreements, but I didn't expect it to jump to the Islamophobia bullshit accusations of whatever. But you know what? God bless, Paul. God bless these people. They are confused and they know not what they do. They know not what they say.
Surrounded by cowards, infidels, and agents of chaos. Good game, God.
Amen, brother. Good game, God. Thank you. Thank you for trusting me to be a player.
Hey, Jack, are you
Huh?
Are you here? Are we all hearing this, or are you just hearing it? Because I'm not really hearing anything except your side, your voice.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not hearing that. Yeah, that's strange. Anyways, is everybody else hearing? It's been silent for a while here. I thought I just been hearing you talking, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? Jack's reading some backstage messages.
Paul Enslaved is here. He was speaking. Jesse
wow,
was.
Man, I got muted out, man. Okay, I'm gonna step out, and if I can get my spot back in, great, because this
Sure.
isn't gonna really get anywhere. So if I
Yeah.
end up getting back in, that's good. If not, I'll just maybe comment until a slot is available if it's gonna continue on further. But anyways, everybody be well, be safe. If I can get back in, I'll join in the conversation. If not, I'll just comment here and there periodically.
Fabulous. Welcome, and
Yeah,
thanks for joining Singularity.
there's a lot of
All right.
issues with StreamYard Singularity. There's a lot of issues with StreamYard in general. So
Well,
Oh,
and try
now
dropping. Maybe you can pop right back in. We'll see
yeah,
what's up.
yeah.
The crap, boy, we've talked a lot of topics. Water, consciousness.
Did you talk about the water has consciousness?
No, not necessarily. Well, Singularity was just kind of bringing that up, the work of Dr. Arimoto, or whatever the correct
Dr. Emoto, you can talk to the
Emoto.
water.
Yes. Well,
Professor
and
Emoto.
it all makes sense though, too, really. I mean, logic makes sense. We are water beings. Water is life for us, right?
Everything is frequency and vibration.
And water is a great transmitter, carrier of energy, right? Electrical, and I don't know how it does with magnetics, but I know it transmits electrical pretty well. And the signals just float through the liquids within our brains and within our nervous systems. It's all, dude, we're like bags of spaghetti wrapped around sticks, fucking bones and muscles and organs. We're just like Ziploc bags of organs walking around, forgetting the magic of life, thinking, oh shit, I've got an idea. My opinion must be important. I thought of it, so it's mine. I've got to keep this opinion forever. And I got to make sure other people believe my opinion.
And then you realize your name's John Vance, and you're not exactly a Ziploc bag. You're just a douchebag full of opinion, which is even worse.
That happens too. You spend your life thinking you're yeah, I don't want to take that.
So, but then the air is full of water as well, right? So that's where they can have machines. They can actually, out of thin air or water air, they can collect it and they can make water for these villages that don't have places and stuff. So literally the air that we're breathing is water as well.
Have you looked much into that? I know I've seen people claiming technologies and stuff like that about drawing water from the air. Have you looked into that or had guests on about that?
Yeah, but it hasn't gone commercial because if people get water from the air and free water, then they can't control them. So less possibility of it going mainstream when it has to do with fucking with their order.
Well, so that's why we're now battling another agent of chaos, another slave who, I'm not going to say they should do it, but, well, I'm not going to go there. Just some folks would say that folks like this would be better off just not even existing. But I won't say that, okay? I won't say that. Some folks would say it, but I won't. Okay? So, as the man was saying, in order to stop this hydration issue, we're going to be bottling Jack's urine, okay? And we're going to be selling it for a low price.
Hey, the idea though, if there is this technology available, the future, things like that, they will transform lives. I mean, before I started learning about possibilities of technology like that, getting water from the air, I learned about how other nations are living. We take for granted so much of life here in the Western US, or in the West. I learned of this charitywater.org. Have you heard of them? Nonprofit organization I discovered a while back, and their purpose is drilling wells and helping other villages learn how to drill wells to provide water in these remote places in like Africa and stuff. So when I saw that there's people alive today, in order just to have water for cleaning and cooking, they spend hours a day walking around going to get water. And it's not even always clean.
Yeah, I always question is, the people are waiting for technology to draw water from the air. Air conditioners. I have an air conditioner unit. It's a mid-sized one. It's not that big. That thing draws a lot of water in a few hours in the summer. So why don't people collect water from an air conditioner and just filter? It's really clear water. If they had a good filter, it'd be probably much pure water than they're actually getting from, other various places. So I came to a conclusion, if the taps ever go dry, I'll just run my air conditioner and filter it, right? It's very simple.
That's a great idea. And anybody that knows anything about technology could use that air conditioning technology to try to get the water out of the air.
Well, it takes energy. And if people have enough energy to run an air conditioner, they probably got energy for wells and stuff as well. So
yeah, I'm talking about communities that aren't fortunate, right? Maybe they had a huge air conditioner just running and this, some facility government powering it, or somebody who could afford it, then people would have water. A little bit of water is better than no water.
Sure.
So I hear what you're saying, Jack. Yeah, they're unfortunate that even power is limited thing, their feature, right? So it is unfortunate. And then once again, this could all be balanced out. We have billionaires on this planet, multi-billionaires, and they define as, show us the plan and we do it. Well, I don't think that will happen.
Hey, Jack, sort of related idea. We get like a device like this Bane character, and we put it on all the slaves like John Vance. So instead of them using up all this energy to blow hot air and vibrations across the room that are meaningless, we can trap those vibrations and convert them into some kind of reusable energy force. Just a thought.
With perpetual motion.
There's some legitimate stuff there actually. Yeah.
Well,
like bioharvesting.
My mind went to the negative spiritual beings that they probably latch onto us just like that. They suck out the life force and the light. Well, that's one of the things I've heard is that there's the angels and then there's the dark beings of spirit too. And
they want your loosh.
They feed on the light of God. And the light of God is only accessible to those in the darkness by those of free will, right? Those who free will filled with the light descend themselves into the darkness of fear and confusion and hate. And then the loosh makes them strong, man. So they say.
Right. So that's the thing. It's the same idea. Like I said before, we can take all the douche energy from John Vance and we can convert that into our own form of renewable energy. We got to take their ways and remix it, flip the script. So they're doing loosh harvesting. We're going to do douche harvesting and take all of his voice box energy and harvest it through a device and use it to power a city. Him and all the slaves like him. We're going to chamber them and put a device on their mouth.
Who are you talking to about, Paul? Who is him?
John Vance and others. All the agents of chaos that come through here. Just strap a mask on them.
Yeah, the ones that want to flog women in the public square.
Actually, I'm going to inform people about this. The third eye actually is, it's like a guardian processor. I call it the third eye snake source core processor. If one knows its functions, you really just direct all that energy there. It gets processed. And you have the third eye is inlaid and overlaid to one's, what I define, thought projection to all their molecules. So once one is aware, they just activate that. And it's really like a vacuum.
That's cool.
I like how you mentioned the snake. The snake coming out the third eye, like the pharaohs, all that.
Exactly. Yes, there's a deep meaning to that. There is a deep meaning to that.
If I can, tie back in a whole bunch of different conversations with the deep meaning, right? There's meanings found in all things. Everything is symbols and meanings, right? And then we were talking about water and how there's billionaires withholding technologies. As a result of the withheld technologies, there's human beings who they don't even have what we imagined, a central place supported by the community or government with a big AC unit running so they can have water. There's humans that don't have that, all because we've been enabling corruption. And when I say enabling, we know it exists. So if we're going to know problems exist, if we know the darkness exists, we either face it or we enable it. And that's where the spiritual journey of going into the shadows, doing that shadow work within, facing the darkness, facing the insecurities, to find a meaning, to find a purpose in your being.
Yes. The shadow work, yes.
Well, and when we find our purpose, when we shine the light, we get some clarity in the future that we want to experience, then we'll have more clarity in the directions we need to take throughout the day. And as we build momentum, taking actions towards our goals, and guys, I'm going to bring this back to me. If you don't fucking see my actions behind my words, my goal is to find a way to introduce myself to those in charge and help find a way to end wars and oppression. So taking actions is what I'm doing here online each day, because if I put my value out, seeds of thought are being planted. And if other people can believe that we can, not Jack, not yourself alone, if we can believe that together we can do this, I'm telling you, let's start this momentum of change. Let's bring the hope to our neighbors. Let's surprise the world out of what they don't know yet.
No more classified.
What's that?
No more classified. No more legal secrets.
Praise be. It would take away the government and corporate quote unquote power.
I don't think there is any secrets, because part of the, if you want to call it the Luciferian satanic cult, they have to display all their plans, because this is part of the deal with the devil, to basically have fair game, fair play. They have to represent everything they're doing. I've known this for a while, especially in movies, but through other media, YouTube videos and articles, they have to represent everything they're doing to the public.
So we experience, for we know the secrets of the absolute. We will work together always.
I knew that wasn't them.
My blood.
Yeah.
Well,
look up to he who speaks.
Yeah, that's a nuisance.
Well, I thought it was Ben at first, and I had a feeling with that thumbnail. I wasn't sure.
Trying to cause interference when we're getting progress.
Well, that's just it. I've been taking chances trying to allow people to come up and contribute with the hopes. But hey, what you were saying is absolutely true. And step back and think about this. In the rules of the creator, the cards we have all the cards.
That's right.
All of the strength has been given to the light, to those who care and who love, right? Because what you just said, the darkness must reveal itself. There's rules to how the truth is revealed, accepted, and shared.
We outnumber them 1,000,000 to 1. It's just that people have been so traumatized and drugged up and everything else that happens that people aren't, thinking about, coming together to stop the insanity, to rattle the cages.
Yeah, exactly. And part of even us that have a better agenda and purpose, like to create a better existence, our cages are going to get rattled by the opposing forces by design. We shall also be tested by the light and the dark side, basically. It's almost like a conditioning, right? As we go, or as we are evolving to higher dimensional planes, there shall be more severe tests and trials of rattling of the cages, of integration of one going through the dark trials of the chaos, right? So it is a
It's
process,
already
right?
here. It's already here.
Yeah.
It's up to us to stop ignoring the chaos. And here's what I believe, the rules of the light are just what you said. The truth must be known. And then that creates the temptation, the manipulation of the truth, even though it's right in front of everyone's faces. It's in the current rule language we use. The temptation is for us just to go along and to accept that someone else said this is what is true, such as the government officials regarding the pandemic and the response to that. It's someone said. Well, it's up to each of us to overcome this. It's part of our individual maturity and path of ascension, each of us. But none of us are alone.
Jack, there's someone in the back that says UN rep. Can we see who that is, please?
It's that fool Nubs.
I happen to be a representative of on. That's not even nice. You guys are talking of agents of chaos, and I figured I'd come on in and give my 2 cents, maybe 3.
Why?
Well, you guys were talking about a subject.
So what? Did you think it needed your input for some reason? What brings
Well, everybody
you?
else is giving their input. Why is my input any less valuable?
Because you've proven to have no value to offer, at least not in my personal experience.
As I would say, probably the same would go for anyone from the UN, wouldn't you say, Jack?
Yeah, I agree.
How would you know? Actually, no, you know what? You want to. Well, so what? Those control freaks actually have something to offer the world. This Nubs, numbnut, thinks his purpose is to harass people like me online. So, Sean, pull your head out of your ass and recognize, I get you're making a joke.
I wasn't trying to. Well, at first I was when I said UN slave, because it's like unslaved. But seriously, I mean, I think they're, for the most part, I don't want to paint a broad brush, but for the most part, they're control freaks with a lot of power.
Hey, Sean, right. Hey, Sean, right. They've risen to power. They know how to make decisions and be responsible for a lot more than what you have.
That's true.
I'm sure Nubs has. So I haven't risen to great heights. I haven't carried huge responsibilities, but I have been a leader, and I have carried responsibility and maintained order and guidance, leading others through challenging times. I know how to communicate with leaders. Now, these clowns, these fools who lack purpose, those are the ones that I'm learning how to communicate better with.
Yeah, some of us don't know our purpose, Jack.
I know. I didn't know my purpose for most of my life, and so I don't fault people for not knowing. What I do fault people for is disrespecting those who do know their purpose.
What would you say your purpose is, if I can ask?
After everything I've said?
I guess get the gist, but...
Well, if you were to answer your question from what you've heard from me, what would the gist be according to you? What do you think I've said my purpose is?
Well, I think I know you want to end wars and talk to the UN, but that seems kind of, I don't know, a little delusional if you ask me, but it's just my opinion.
Right. Your opinion wasn't asked. You were asked about the gist of what you think my purpose might be. Now,
That's what I think your purpose is. What's your purpose besides that?
one small aspect of what I've been repeatedly sharing. So my purpose is just what I've said, to help people open their own minds, to help people like you and anyone else who's listening to try and inspire you to reconsider, maybe develop your own connection to the Creator, to turn to God, to become a more loving example, a greater inspiration for others. So, Top G, did you miss all of that? The stuff I'd been pointing out about health and motivation and self-development? You just heard what was your description? The delusional idea of speaking to the UN. That was what you said?
Hey, I like that, what you just said there, but yeah, the UN thing, man, I don't know if I see that happening. I get that
Right.
that's
Okay.
your goal.
So ignore that.
I like
Here's the point. Here's the point. And I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is a wonderful opportunity. Many people want to focus on that one thing they disbelieve in, right? Because they don't know their purpose. They don't believe that great things could be achieved through them. So they want to disbelieve my greater purpose. And because of the disbelief in my greater purpose, they ignore all of the value that I'm spending my time trying to offer. Because the value I'm offering about self-development, about inner peace, surrendering the ego, that's to help you and anyone else who might be tuning in.
So, would you say, like, out of everyone you know, you're the best person to represent, you know, the world and talk to the UN? You think you're like one of those people that, you know, has that much knowledge and has that ability? You think you're there?
Once again, I've answered this question many different ways and many different times. But no, I don't put myself as superior to anyone. Matter of fact, there's many people who know the details and can explain what I'm trying to share. They have the vocabulary and the experience of teaching what I only know for myself. Okay. So there's other people who can explain consciousness better than me. People like Paul Unslaved and Wizard, they can explain the enemy of the corporate and government rules. They understand those things better than me. They can explain those things better than me. There's psychiatrists and psychologists who can explain trauma and the ego differently than me. What makes me different than them is my goal as an activist to take the information to where it might do the most value in the world. So I don't put myself above anyone. I just have a different perspective of what many other people know.
Hey, I give you respect for that, man. That's a fucking lofty goal. You get in front of the UN, man. I'll watch. I'll support you. Go for it.
Yeah, well, that seems to be the American way. Wait for other people to do it, encourage or disapprove. Well, welcome aboard. If you want to support, that is what today's panel was for. How to, what can we brainstorm solutions? I'm really not seeking more approval or disapproval from anyone. I mean, I'm grateful for the chance to repeat my explanations again.
Oh, it's so funny.
Hey, Jack.
Yeah, brother.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jack, I'm gonna hop out, but I'll see you tomorrow, right? I gotta travel early tomorrow. I want to start, relaxing and get ready to go to bed.
All right, Paul. Have a good one.
Hey,
Good to see
brother,
you again.
thank
All
you.
right, I'll see you guys later.
Peace,
Paul,
peace.
thanks for your attendance, support, everything. Truther
I'm
Cop,
gonna.
welcome.
Yeah, welcome. How about this? I'm gonna throw in a hypothesis, a perspective, a probability, and a possibility. How about we are already way in the future and nobody's ever told us, and everything is governed by a very evolved AI sentient symbiotic that takes into consideration everybody's thoughts, and then the people in control have to act out upon the people's thoughts of the programming done to the computer because the computer uploads it to them that apparently the representatives. So that's just the hypothesis. Maybe there's another way to do this, right? And rather than going directly is just realizing where we actually are. Maybe possibility. I've been made aware we're way in the future, and there's many things hidden from us that we can't see behind the veil of matter.
I like that. I think there's something there when it comes to how you're talking about time.
Hey,
We can't necessarily
actually,
look at it in a linear fashion. Go ahead, Jack.
hey, I'm kind of agreeing with Truth Not Lies right now. I'm feeling this isn't a very productive amount of time anymore. I started out with my goals. I shared my inspirations of the day, my appreciations, my gratitude. I shared my current situation, some of the questions I've been asking, trying to figure out for myself. I actually invited people to offer suggestions and some ideas to help me navigate through this particular junction of my life. But so far, we've wanted to hypothesize about a lot of things, and I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up and just remove some folks here. And thank you everyone for showing up. I'm in the process of kicking. So, thanks everyone for showing up, for tuning in today. Oh, whoops, I did something. There's others still. Sean, I'm going to end yours. Move that. Moose, removing yours.